ever looked at yourself and asked yourself, who am I really? Like, you just randomly ask yourself, like, who am I? Like, do you ask yourself deep questions like that? Like, who am I? What am I doing here? Like, do you ask yourself questions like that? Can I be honest? Self-discovery looks beautiful. It sounds flawless until you actually have to go through it, until you actually have to go through the entire process. Because nobody talks about how uncomfortable and lonely it feels. Self-discovery, the journey of self-discovery is one of the most uncomfortable, lonely, scary, and confusing journeys you ever have to go through in your life. And nobody talks about what it is and how it actually is like, because there are so many things happening at the time. Nobody talks about how uncomfortable it is because you're outgrowing friendships, you're outgrowing habits, you're outgrowing patterns, you're outgrowing things that you used to think that you would have for the rest of your life. You're outgrowing habits that you used to love, you're outgrowing friends that you thought that people would have been together forever and ever and ever. Things that excite you before no longer excite you, places that were fun before now just feel like noise. And nobody talks about how uncomfortable it feels. It feels so lonely, it feels so confusing. So many things don't make sense. One day you just wake up and you realize that the things that used to excite you before no longer excite you anymore. The places you used to go to before no longer feel like home. That the old version of you just no longer fits. Like, so many things that used to feel so exciting before, that you used to enjoy doing, just, it doesn't click anymore. It's not as fun, it's not as interesting, and you don't even want to do that anymore. And it's scary because growth doesn't feel like becoming. It does not feel like a glorious beginning of something. It feels more like grieving. Yeah. I feel that's the word. It feels more like grieving, because you're grieving so many things at the time. You're grieving friendships, you're grieving habits, you're grieving patterns, you're grieving hobbies. Because whether you like it or not, you're grieving the things that you enjoyed so much, things that used to define you, the things that people knew you for. You're grieving a life that you enjoy, the life that you would once kill for. If you're somebody that your job no longer fits or your career no longer fits, you're grieving a job and a career that once upon a time you loved so much, a job that you would sacrifice all the time in the world for. You're grieving a version of you that you don't want to let go of. And trust me, it is scary. And if you're in that season right now, I want you to hear this. I want you to know this. It's okay not to have everything figured out all at once. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to let go of the things that once felt familiar. It's okay to let go of that friendship that you thought you were going to be together forever. It's okay to let go of that relationship that you felt was going to last for the rest of your life. It's okay to let go and move on from that career that no longer feels satisfying. And you don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to feel guilty about growing. You don't have to feel guilty about evolving. Because I understand that it's like shedding skin. Things in your life are just dropping dead. Things are just dropping fast. Some things that there are certain things you want to let go of. And there are also certain things that you don't want to let go of, that you're still clinging on to. But they just find a way of escaping your loose and just going away. And it feels like your whole life is falling apart because the chaos here and there, this is leaving, this is leaving, this is leaving, this is happening, this person's, and it's scary, it's exhausting. You don't want to talk to anybody. Nobody understands what you're going through, because the most annoying part of it is that not everybody would grow with you. Not everybody is in that same phase as you, so not everybody understands it as much as you do. Except people that have gone through it. And you can't go up and down scouting people that have gone through it. You can only be in your season and understand and try to understand what it is that you are going through. You don't have to feel guilty for outgrowing friends, for outgrowing hobbies, for outgrowing people, for outgrowing things that you used to love and like. You don't have to feel guilty for saying no to things you used to say yes to. Because, and I know some people don't even know, what am I supposed to be saying no to now? What am I saying? I'm saying no to this one now, then what am I saying yes to? You're saying no to the things you don't longer want. Whether you like it or not, that no you're saying yes to something else, even if you don't know what that thing is. It's okay to outgrow people that felt like family. It's okay to outgrow habits that felt like they were who you are. And when you're in that stage, You are in it's a lot of confusion. You are living in a lot of confusion and perplexity. And all you have to know and focus on this season is that you're growing and you're refining. That's all the clarity you need. All you have to know is that this is my season of refinement. My life is not going in pieces. I'm shedding skin. I'm breaking my beak. I'm letting go of a few feathers, because after this season, I'm becoming greater than I used to be. Because whether you like it or not, it's growth. And growth isn't always comfortable. Like I said, self-discovery and growth is one of the most uncomfortable, lonely, confusing season. Sometimes even sad for some people, because you're letting go of friends that you loved so much. You're letting go of hobbies, habits. You're letting go of the things you once enjoyed. And you don't even know what the things that you enjoy now. So many things are not making sense because your brain has already been structured to what it knew. And self-discovery isn't about becoming somebody totally new. It's about returning to yourself. It's about returning to who you were. It's about returning to parts of you that fear has silenced, that pain has left so confused. It's returning to that version of yourself that so many people have told that you are not this, you can't be this. Maybe the real you is under all those years of people pleasing. It's under years of confusion, under years of people telling you what you can and cannot do, under survival mode, under insecurity, under all of that, under heartbreak, under years of expectations from people that were never even yours to carry. And growth is choosing to meet yourself honestly. Growth is asking yourself the difficult questions. If you're somebody that's dedicated to growth, I'm talking about somebody that has the idea of it, or somebody that wants to try. If you're somebody that is dedicated to growth and dedicated to growing and building themselves, you have to ask yourself difficult questions, because that's what growth is. That's why growth starts. It starts with asking yourself difficult questions. Who am I? What am I doing? What do I want? Where am I? Where am I going? Where do I come from? What makes me feel alive? What am I pretending to enjoy? What am I holding on to out of fear? Who am I when nobody is watching? This is what growth is. And growth is not always dramatic. Sometimes growth is quiet. Shadow work is not something that everybody sees. Your season of growth is not something that you need to call for public attention. It's setting boundaries, becoming less reactive, walking away, resting, trying again, apologizing to yourself, healing, apologizing to others, speaking kindly to yourself, understanding that you are not defined by what has happened to you, understanding that whatever has happened in the past did not define you. You are not any of those things. Those were seasons, those were phases. And you're not also denying that that wasn't you either, but you are accepting that that's a phase of my life. I went through it. I experienced it, and I have learned whatever it is I needed to learn from that season. And moving forward, I am moving on not with baggages, but with lessons. I am moving on not with trauma. I am moving on with the lessons needed to learn. I have extracted whatever I needed to extract from that season. And moving on, it's going to be entirely different. And like I said before, what people do not talk about is how uncomfortable it is, how painful it is, because not everybody grows with you. You would get to understand that you have to understand that not everybody grows with you. Some people only liked the version of you that pleased them. Some people only liked the version of you that stayed small. Some people only liked the version of you that could be read and understood. Some people only liked the version of you that stayed at their level. Some people only liked the version of you that they could prey on and control. But don't confuse discomfort for failure. If things are not so comfortable now because you're growing, that doesn't mean you're failing. That doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. In fact, you're on the right track, because you are starting over. When you start over, you are starting over with nothing but a heart filled with knowledge and lessons, and you will have to let go of patterns. That's growth. And you will feel at a point you will feel powerless, because the things you were once holding on to have slipped out of your hands. But trust me, What is ahead of you is far greater than what you have left behind. Outgrowing things hurts. Changing hurts. Healing hurts. But staying the same when you know that you're meant for more, when you know that your soul is begging for more, that hurts too. And it will cost you a whole lot. So maybe this season isn't confusion. Maybe it's discovery. Maybe you're becoming. You're becoming slowly, quietly, and beautifully. You're not failing. You are growing. One day you look back and and you have to realize that the person you were becoming has been inside you all along, under all those people pleasing, all those shrinking, trying to fit in, and all that. So if you're in that season right now, like I said, you are just fine. You are growing, and growth is it won't be comfortable. It won't be roses and matcha and dinners. It's going to be very uncomfortable. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.